Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from Astronomy TV. Another quick game of interplanetary I Spy going on here. Back on Mars, back in Gale Crater, and we're back to Sol 1429. Links will be below as usual for the image. Check this one out. Very interesting this. Lots of strange debris in this area. And a lot of this looks like rendered plasterwork or stonework, okay? In other words, stonework that's had a layer of plaster or something else layered on top of it, and here is such a thing. Now I'm probably going to call this like a book because it looks like a book to me just here. I couldn't tell you exactly how big it is, but it's not as big as it seems in the image. This is probably about 12 inches long, maybe less, maybe between 9 and 12 inches, I don't know. I'll put some measurements in below when I've worked it out, okay? And you have this rather strange object here with an emblem on the front of it, okay? On the side or on the front. So let's crack on with it. I've got it in my folder here. I'll call it the Book of Enoch for want of a better title. I may not use that in the actual title, don't know. Here is a raw clip. Totally raw, nothing done to this. And you can see it has layers to it. Now you've got the front of it here, which has this rather strange like E shape or M shaped kind of emblem. Of course it may not be an emblem at all, it could be completely random. It could even be a fossil of some kind of dead creature. But to me, this looks like it's been carved. And if you look carefully, even in the raw image here, you have what looks like the front cover of a book here, and the back cover of a book here. And sort of, it's kind of sandwiched together like a book. Now, it seems to be joined to this kind of, what looks like a piece of plaster or mudstone, whatever it is supposed to be, I don't know. This could just be a random bit of rock that's kind of stuck to it and then broken off, don't know. It's very odd. I don't know what to think about this one, really. Of course, I usually give my videos provocative titles just to get them noticed. I mean, if you don't do that, people just don't watch them and they don't find them, okay? I'm not trying to stir up any sort of stuff here at all. I'm just saying what I see, you know, and that's not a crime. Let's look at the enhancement, and you can now see that letter E or M, okay, a lot clearer. Just darken that right up, there's a close-up. And of course the image quality is not brilliant as usual, but it's good enough to see this, because this is near, well, it's not too far from the rover, okay? This one is fairly close. There's a real dark one. Now you can see that that's whatever this is on the front of it here, whether it is an emblem or not, it's all the same sort of thickness all the way. So it's like an embossed letter. Now, I used to be a sign maker many years ago, and I used to make embossed letters and stick them on plastic signs. I used to make taxi signs, I used to do neon signs, I used to do all those things, okay? And an embossed letter is basically a three-dimensional letter that you then stick on a surface, like on a perspex sign, which you then put above a shop, for instance, okay? I'm not saying that's what this is. I'm just saying this looks like an embossed letter here, because you have the shadow all the way around it here is the same thickness. Now, if that was a fossil, that would be unlikely. If it was random, that would also be unlikely. And if it was just, I don't know, if to me, it looks like something that's either a relief carving or something that's been stuck onto this object. And like many of the things in this area, when you see it in negative, it also looks pretty clear. You can see that that's the same thickness, okay? So it may well be random, but I don't think it is. There we are. There's the negative clip of it there. And I've reversed it around the other way. I mean, could it be a letter M for Mars? A letter E? Could it represent a letter we don't even know? It could do. And it kind of looks like intelligent design to me. And here's the raw image on its own. That's how it comes from NASA when you download it. It's a little bit grainy, but it's there. The detail is there. And you can pull that detail out with a little tiny bit of processing. So I'm not putting this in the image. It's already there. I'm not saying this is a book, but it's shaped like a book, so I'm going to call it a book. It's probably not, but it is pretty tantalising, this one. And I've been toying with this for a while. It's been on my desktop for quite some time now. Let's look at the detail a bit more in the enhanced version here. See how this is kind of sandwiched there, and you've got the front and the back. To me, it looks like a book. I mean, I can't explain why there's this bit sticking out here on the top left. I can't tell you what that is. Maybe it was joined to something. I don't know. Maybe I've really no idea. So if you have any ideas what you think it might be, please leave a comment as usual. Always welcome. And you know, it could be anything. I mean, we've established us researchers now. We have established that there was a civilization on Mars. So practically anything is possible on the surface now. The mainstream are dragging their feet, as they do with everything when it comes to disclosure, of course. So don't expect them to sort of suddenly make an announcement like oh yes, by the way, there's life on Mars. They're not going to say that. This is very much something us researchers should just get on with and ignore them. They will eventually catch up one day in about 5 or 10 years' time, when we've already established many different species on the surface and found probably inexorable proof of a past civilization, which I think we probably have already done so. But lots of proof is never enough for someone who doesn't want to believe something. You know, you can have 200 objects. So you could have 100 skulls. You could have 200 fossils, or you know, how many fossils do you need to prove the existence of past life on Mars? Because I have a lot, and I know other people do, including many bones and skulls and that kind of thing. When you have hundreds of these things, then the weight of evidence becomes too much for them to deny. And this is why, of course, they would then turn around and start abusing researchers and making out that they're conspiracy theorists to try and stop people listening and watching their evidence, okay? So ignore them, keep on searching. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon.